All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? Let me just do some double checks here. Yes, all righty. The mic is turned on. It is 5 p.m. West Coast time, 2 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. And it looks like we've got quite a few people hanging out, waiting to start the chat. Actually, they're not even waiting to start the chat. The chat has begun. Fantastic. Just what I like to see. Kenny from the Cove, good to see you here. I was hoping you'd show face. I know that you've had a really rough day today, and the likelihood of you showing up was very tiny, but I'm glad you've got the energy here to say hello. And Gina, good to see you. Shock, yes. Shock and Rick here, letting everybody know we've got the gear, and we've got our moderators in check. And Rick, thank you so much for re-upping your sub. Love it, love it. And let's see here. Oh no, Shock's day was a day of Chads and Karens. Uh-oh, but she'll win or live. And I'm not sure if I said hello to Gina, but if I didn't, hello Gina. And if I did, I'm saying it again, twice. And Rick, you just drove back from the cabin this morning? Oh, a long drive in a rainstorm. For some reason, I didn't real. Interesting. I had it in my mind for some reason that you guys had come back earlier. And hey, Belly Bear, good to see you. And even though Rick had a long drive back from the cabin this morning, Rick and Darlene managed to share some videos and some pictures with us. I've got them later on, probably not too far from now, actually. If you're living in an area that doesn't get fall or hasn't quite gotten fall yet, you will get your fall on in these videos. I mean, a perfect smattering of fall's wonderful palettes. Bright reds, yellows, oranges, and some greens mixed in too. So I have to thank Darlene and Rick, and I also have to say hello to Darlene, for sharing their wonderful videos and pictures out in the cabin area. Excuse me, where they go visit, because I'll tell you what, not everybody is as lucky to be able to escape to the country or even have the country as close to their house as Rick and Darlene have. And so for those of you who live on the islands, the type of wildlife and nature that Rick and Darlene have access to is very different than what you've got in the middle of the ocean. So I am super thankful, and I hope you all are thankful too for everything that Darlene and Rick are sharing with us. But it doesn't just have to be Rick and Darlene. If you've got some kind of video or picture of some kind of, something purdy or something weird or something funny, by all means, send it to madstatter@gmail.com. And with your permission, I will share it with the rest of the crew. And let's see here. Rick asking Kenny if he's an Astros fan. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not much of a sports ball fan, but after yesterday, if you're not an Astros fan in Texas, I don't know where you've been, because yesterday, yeah, I wasn't impressed with the result, but all you Astro fans better have been impressed with what happened yesterday. And I don't really know what happened today, so I have no commentary about that. But for those of you who are wondering what it is I'm babbling about, the Seattle Mariners and the Houston Astros played the first division playoff yesterday, and the Mariners lost by 1 point. It looked like they were going to win, but then the Astros came back, and, well, yeah, the Mariners didn't win. Anyway, so let's see here. Let's see here. Rick, something weird. You could always send in stuffs, but you could always send in a selfie. There we go. Well, we do have, or at least Andy Bumatai has some footage of the infamous Rick foot. And you know what? Speaking of Andy Bumatai, I have been meaning to show this for a few weeks now, or a few streams now, and I'm completely remiss, but Andy, for those of you who are on the islands right now, on Oahu specifically, Andy is working on his stand-up comedy act that he might be able to take on tour later. But right now, he's working on it. So if you want to check Andy out and you are in the Honolulu area, He has weekly shows every Thursday at, let's see here, where is it? It's at Stand Up Honolulu, Honolulu. And I believe it's an open mic, actually. So if you think that you're kind of funny, who knows, you could share the stage with Andy Bumatai. Now, everybody I know who has seen Andy Bumatai perform in the last couple weeks has said that it was flippin' great. He's an amazing, he's still an amazing performer. He's funny as heck. And basically, if you get to go see Andy at these open mic situations, you're totally going to be helping him work on and fine tuning what will eventually, hopefully, go on the road as his act. Because comedians basically, you can write and write and write your jokes all you want, but until you tell them in front of people and you figure out the delivery and where the slow points are and what you've got to fix a little bit, you absolutely need to tell them in front of people again and again to really get the funniest points honed to their absolute funniest. And Rick is saying it'd be really cool if the $10 was an online, if you could get $10 for an online access. Oh, Rick, I totally agree. And I wish that the venue had those capabilities, but I'm not sure it does. And Picola T is one of the people who did see Andy already, and look, gonna go see Andy's show in a couple weeks. So obviously funny enough to go see twice, because Picola T, like I said, has already seen his show just a few weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, and now she's planning on going again. So I'm not suggesting that it's the only reason to go to Oahu, but if you are on Oahu shortly and soon, Andy is definitely a show you might want to check out, because $10 for an evening of comedy entertainment is so flippin' cheap. One of the reasons why I used to love to go to open mic nights, because even if you're not on the mic, you've got all right, let's try this again. If you are on the mic, you generally don't have to pay anything to get into open mic, or if you do have to pay, you have to pay a reduced fare. But even if you're not on the mic and you have to pay full price to get in, it's worth it, because it's not a name brand comedy, a name act. Although sometimes you get to see name acts like Andy Bumatai, but it's basically just a bunch of comedians on for, less than 10 minutes at a time. So if somebody's bombing, you're not going to have to sit through a really long set that's just like a groaner. And so you get to see a bunch of different comedians for a really great price, and honestly, it is worth the price of admission. And Belly Bear, thank you so much that you're liking my hair, because I'll tell you what, it's wet and it's put up in clips because I had to take a shower right before the show. I was kind of sitting in my own awfulness and said, I cannot do this any longer. I have to take a shower. And in fact, you guys, this show almost did not happen today. As you may or may not know, I am a manager of a tax preparation office, and Monday, October 17th, this coming Monday, is the final tax deadline. So my office right now is going full speed ahead, and today's work definitely was taking longer than I thought it was going to take, and it kind of screwed up my whole plan for getting the show. But thanks to Rick and Darlene, and thanks to a little bit of other pre-planning I did a few days ago, things were able to be scrounged together. And Pussycat, thank you for complimenting the hair here. And let's see here. Kenny, you like it too with my hair up, shows more face. Well, there's definitely more face to show. Woof. Yeah, so one thing though, so today we might not have had a show, right? Now, next Wednesday, we also might not have a show. But completely different reason, because next Wednesday the tax office should be pretty mellow, right? Right, exactly. But well, actually, I'll tell you in just a minute, because it just occurred to me, you know what? We haven't gotten the party started. So let's get it started, and then I'll tell you why next Wednesday we might not have a show. All right, now that we know where we're at, Chatter with Statter can begin. And Next Wednesday, like I said, there might not be a show. But if you have been following this stream from the beginning, you might recognize why it is the best reason in the world not to have a show. If you've been around since the beginning, you know that I had a dishwasher, and my dishwasher got eaten by a rat. And it has taken me a really long time to finally get over it. But on Wednesday, next Wednesday, I don't know what time. They never tell you what time. I'm getting this. This is what I am getting. I finally bit the bullet, and I looked online, and the dishwasher that I wanted before that was $1,000 was only $600. It was on sale. And so I said, you know what? It's not going to get any cheaper than this. And so I busted out the trusty credit card, and much to my chagrin, I got in a little bit more debt, but that's okay because my life will be so much happier now that I'm going to have my dishwasher back. Okay, I won't have it back. I'll have a brand new one, but that's okay. And yes, I know, Rick. The dishwasher, or the rat ate my dishwasher. But if you were here to see what happened, so it's a portable dishwasher, and there's hoses that, connect the dishwasher to the sink faucet. Well, literally overnight, a rat not only ate through the hose, one of the hoses, it also ate down the entire length of the hose, like 20 some odd inches. And so the hose was basically not even repairable. I tried to get the part, but after 3 tries of getting the wrong part delivered to me, I just gave up. And so, yes, everybody here, it looks like, hopefully with rat-proof hoses, Bacola T, but I'm not crossing my fingers on that. And Kulika, so good to see you here today. I'm so glad that you guys have all clearly been around long. Most of you have clearly been around long enough to understand just how wonderful this dishwasher news is. And I know it's a stupid and arbitrary thing, but seriously, I am so excited about having this silly dishwasher. And as I mentioned, it's going to get delivered on Wednesday, but I don't know what time. So if the delivery is happening during a time that will interfere with the stream, then the stream obviously isn't going to happen. And I probably won't know until the day before the delivery as to what time they're going to get here. So I wish I could give you guys more of a heads up. But if next Wednesday there is no stream, I'm 99% sure I'm okay. There's not an emergency. There's not any kind of brouhaha. It's just a delightful occurrence of a dishwasher getting delivered. So, yeah. And Kenny from the Cove wrapped the new hose in chainmail. You guys you think you're being funny, right? But, these are yeah. And Rick, gonna wrap the hose in steel hardware cloth? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, honestly, yeah. After I saw what that stupid thing did, I think that might be a good idea. And Belly Bear, you remember the rat story, and then recently heard another huge rat incident. Yeah, exactly. Rats. Yeah. Yep. And actually, no, Rick, you are being helpful. I hadn't thought of it, but like when you and Kenny both suggested roughly the same thing, yeah, I might look into that for real. Why wouldn't I? I have reason, good reason. Yeah. And so thank you, Darlene. Yes, you'll manage next Wednesday. And if we do have a stream next Wednesday, then expect some, expect some dishwasher footage. It'll be new and exciting dishwasher footage. Watch me unload my dishes as they're shiny and clean. Oh, awesome. Excellent e-music. Oh, yeah. I hadn't thought about that. Maybe if I can come on later. Yeah. Then yeah, there we go. And let's see here. Belly Bear, steel wool is a good deterrent for rats. Let's see here. Unless stainless steel hose is an available upgrade. I don't think so. I definitely don't think the hose, well, I ordered it already and it didn't seem to be in there. That is an option, but, Darlene, so you will get pictures of the real one, but this is what I ordered. So, I had a choice of white, or excuse me, I had a choice of white, but that was unavailable. So I guess I didn't have that choice. So I had a choice of black or stainless steel. And I definitely didn't want the black one because my house is small and I don't need more black I don't need more black shadowy corners. So stainless steel is what I decided. And yeah, there you go. And let's see here. Picola Tea, you lost power at the hotel on Monday. Plenty crinkling noises overnight, and cellophane found wrapped cookies eaten in the morning. Today we saw the mouse-sized hole in the screen door. Oh, whoops. There we go. Love Pat. Okay, wrap it in hardware cloth. Yeah, I think that's what Rick suggested, and I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna go look into that because for sure well, we all know why I need to look into that. And let's see here. And Pussycat, it's nice night tonight. You're sitting next to your pond, adding another fish. Nice, good. Is this delivered and installed? It isn't delivered and installed yet, but it's going to be. I had to pay $40 extra to get the old one removed. But yes, it's delivered to my house. It will be installed, and then the old one will be removed. Because I figured for $40, why not? And yeah, so Kulika, it is a portable, not a built-in. I don't have enough countertop to. My kitchen didn't come with the dishwasher, basically. So yeah, I don't have countertop to build under it, etc. It's a portable. It's a portable. In fact, actually, the dishwasher that I have right now, part of the reason why I've kept it in my house for so long is because the square countertop is on top of it is literally the most countertop I have in my kitchen. So, I live in a 500 square foot house, so things are tiny. And so, yeah, Darlene, I thought $40 was a really good deal. Just take it. And, Belly Bear, your friend also had a rat living in her car inside the lining of her dash. She had to go to her mechanics to take everything out and chase it out. Wow. That reminds me, I saw on the interwebs a little video about a squirrel that had decided somebody's truck was like the perfect place to store all of his winter walnuts. And when they finally got the squirrel out and removed all the walnuts, there was over 180 pounds of walnuts stashed everywhere in the truck. Any place, between the lining and the door and the actual door and the dash, in the engine compartment, in the wheel wells, any place the squirrel could fit a walnut, they stashed one in there. 180 pounds worth of walnuts was found in that guy's truck. So yeah, the little critters, boy, oh boy, do they love cars? And oh my God, Pussycat, you have a snake in your Mustang? Well, hopefully it's not, you've got poisonous stuff. Is it a poisonous snake in your Mustang? That makes me uncomfortable. And let's see here. Yeah, Kenny, the squirrel was totally smart, and Belly Bear very hard working. And yeah, Darlene, I've heard that they nest anywhere, and then the babies and the etc. It's a Pussycat. I got that hook, line, and fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. It's a Cobra Mustang, of course, so it is a little bit poisonous and it's very fast. All right. So, okay, so we're talking about weirdness and stuff, but now we're going to talk about the fall because it is getting to be the fall, and I don't know if everybody. Oh, wait, before we do this, I'm going to wait for the Raiders to come in. Terry in Scotland. How you doing? Thank you so much. Katie's Aura, good to see you coming on in. Pinnell, of course, the usual suspects coming in with Terry. Fantastic, you guys. Curious to know if Terry was riding the bus today or doing the race car driving. Terry in Scotland is a Twitch a Twitch content creator, for those of you who don't know, and usually he drives around Europe or the Americas in a tour bus, but lately he's been going and doing some race car video action, and that has been ridiculously fun to watch. So if you want to watch a crazy driver running into things on accident and on purpose, Terry in Scotland is definitely who you need to be checking out. And so, so yeah, we got the whole crew of the regular troublemakers coming on in, which is great because I'm not so sure everybody in this chat is in an area that has good fall colors. I'm thinking Pussycat might not have some fall action. I'm thinking Love Pat Pat might not have some fall action. I don't really know whether or not Terry in Scotland's got fall action because it's probably very different than here, and it might have already started because Scotland is kind of cold. But what we have right now, I'm going to first show, boom, a beautiful picture taken by, well, I don't know if it was taken by Rick or if it was taken by Darlene, but this was one of the pictures that they sent to us on their way home from their beautiful cabin. And let's see here, Pussycat. But before we were talking about beautiful fall colors, Pussycat, you had a snake that crawled in the engine compartment. So you so you started the car and honked your horn. Nice. I'm glad that actually worked. I had a different ending to that story when you started the engine, and I was thinking that the snake might not have been able to crawl out of the engine compartment. So, yeah, so let's go back. All right, we've got the fall colors, right? Beautiful fall colors. Now, and let's see here. So Darlene, cool. Darlene's got all the info about this. This is at the cabin on one of the nearby roads. Cool. And hey, Terry, there you are finally coming up in the chat. Thanks so much for the raid. Super stoked. Super stoked you're here. We are checking out fall colors in the northern Wisconsin area or the Wisconsin area, taken by Darlene and Rick. I'm very curious, Rick and or Darlene, if you guys happen to know what the rock is along those cliffs that looks like some kind of sedimentary layering. I mean, it looks almost like it's volcanic, but I don't know enough about the area to make that judgment. I'm just curious if you guys know. Okay, so it's sandstone. Okay, there we go. Kulika, you say it's limestone. Rick says it's sandstone. Okay, all right. Well, okay. I'll have to go see which one of y'all's right. But there we go. Kenny from the Cove, fall here, just a 45-minute intermission before we get extra summer. And Darlene, no, not at all volcanic. Okay, it just looks, the layering is just so, looks like volcanic layering. It's very interesting. And let's see here. But, so this is just one picture, right? But we've actually got a couple minutes worth of drive. And let's see here. Statter is such a geo nerd. Just a little bit. You got me. And Belly Bear. Oh, hey, Belly Bear. Yeah, you might not be getting too many fall colors. So, you've got the rain sprinkles and yeah, you have to drive an hour up into the mountains to see fall and winter. Or you can just hang out here and watch this drive by Rick. And then after this drive that we're going to watch, we have another little drive, both of which are pretty flippin' amazing. And yeah, well, here we go. Oh shoot, then yeah, I turned down the, gosh darn it, I turned down the audio because it was really rough audio sounding, and it was supposed to have this going on in the background, just like this whole entire stream was supposed to have that background music going on, and it didn't, so sorry about that, you guys. A little bit of a space cadet there, but Rick, don't worry about the shakiness and the window reflections. The window reflections happen. Like, serious, those happen. Happens to everybody. I've been watching that with a close eye, actually, on a lot of YouTube content creators who film inside their vehicle, and it happens. So I wouldn't worry about that. As for the bumpiness, that's part of how the dirt roads in the country are. So you're just gonna have to live with it, right? That's how I looked at it, at least. So it kind of brought us into the essence. And let's see here. Let's see. All right. So yeah, Pussycat, sorry about the no audio there. All right. So that was a little bit deeper, I think, in the wooded rural area. And then this, I think, is Rick and Darlene getting a little bit closer to town, but still, oh my gosh, the landscape in these videos is so different than the landscape around here. I just find it so quintessentially farmland. I don't know. Anyway, I'll just show it to you and shut up. How about that?
Hope you all enjoyed the ride. We do.
All right, there we have it. And no, Darlene, I don't want you standing up out of the sunroof filming, because exactly what you said, that's exactly what would happen to me. I would, boom, lose the flippin' thing. I'd lose the camera right out of my hands. We already know, well, some of you might not know, but I did make an attempt to video a parade when I was on Oahu in June, and I had the video camera all set up on the stand. It was perfectly located to watch the parade below on the 3rd floor parking garage where I was standing. Big gust of wind. What does it do? Blows the whole entire setup that I had perfectly arranged off the garage edge onto the street below. You know, the street below where there's people watching the parade. Yeah, so I definitely I definitely appreciate why you're not wanting to wanting to hold that camera where it can go flying freely. And it looks like, what, is Vanilla Coke Pepsi here today? Fantastic. Good to see you there, man. And let's see here. Where is he? I didn't see him come in, but everybody else is. Oh, there he is. Hey, Vanilla Coke Pepsi. Good deal. And good to see ya. And Picola T made it to Waipio Valley Lookout yesterday, but didn't drive down the bumpy road. I have no, obviously in a rental car, you probably don't want to do that. And honestly, even though I've seen videos of it, thanks to Camuella Man, I just don't know, like, yeah, okay, it's safe, and yeah, I probably could maneuver the road, you know? I mean, my driving capabilities are pretty good, but I don't know if I would want to. It kind of looks like an intimidating drive to drive. And on the opposite side, it also looks like a kind of an intimidating drive to let someone else drive me down. Yeah, so I just don't know. I think maybe it's best if you just watch Camuella Man's video. That's the best. And you know, speaking of Camuella Man, let's see here. Yeah, Gina, exactly. You couldn't. Yeah, and Darlene, and then getting right, and then driving right back up. Yeah, that's actually, I think, I don't really know which is more stressful, the idea of driving down it or driving back up it. But regardless of the direction, what happens when you meet somebody coming down the other way? Like, and then I'm gonna have to back down where I've already, no. No. So, but to get back talking about Camuella Man, as we know, he's a fantastic artist, and he's an artist based on the Big Island of Hawaii. And he has a tendency to draw some chalk drawings outside of, I believe it's a Starbucks, but it doesn't really matter, outside of a coffee shop at least once a week. And for every holiday, he generally has an appropriate chalk drawing. Now, this particular last Monday, he put up a chalk drawing for Columbus Day. And as it turns out, his chalk drawing had been modified by a local with a red handprint. Now, the red handprint is to symbolize the missing and murdered indigenous peoples that have, that is currently in the United States. And it was a political statement on the vandal's part, and I'm using the term vandal very loosely here. Camuella Man was rightfully hurt by the alteration of his artwork, and he actually didn't understand what he didn't know, I don't think, what the red handprint was for. He didn't know what it meant. And so when he was posting things on his Facebook page, people were explaining to him, and he was totally open to, like, oh, okay, I'm learning. You know, he was learning. It was coming from a negative. He was gaining positivity with the knowledge that he gathered. Because, as it turns out, he was unaware that Columbus Day in a lot of locations isn't celebrated anymore. It's called Indigenous Peoples Day. And I believe that he truly had not heard of that, because when I mentioned that to him, the questions he was asking, it was pretty clear. I really don't think that he had heard of Indigenous Peoples Day, which I thought was very strange and interesting considering he lives on Hawaii, and I kind of assumed that the locals in Hawaii would have taken this trend that's happening on the continental United States to heart on the islands as well. And I'm sure some locals are. I'm not arguing that. But in the Puget Sound area, the city of Seattle, all the other smaller towns around the city of Seattle, when it comes to Columbus Day, it is not celebrated as Columbus Day anymore. It's celebrated as Indigenous Peoples Day, and it's it's the reason the post offices are closed and the banks are closed. They even say it on signs, etc. Now, the federal government obviously hasn't changed that. But I figured with this conversation that that I was having with Camuella Man, I thought I figured, and then okay, so e-music, Hawaii has called that day Discoverers Day for decades. Okay, see, all right, so then I really don't know what it was doing with the whole Columbus Day art, but anyway, but my point is not to say how things shouldn't be, or this, that, and the other thing. I am just letting everybody know, in case it isn't happening in your area, this is a change that is happening in various communities throughout the country. Gina, obviously, in my area, it's Indigenous Peoples Day or something like that now. Precisely. And so, just so you know, I'm just introducing this idea and concept to you. And in that spirit, I would also like to introduce to you a concept or an idea that is shared amongst tribes across the United States, of the North American continent. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but across the United States, as a general rule, tribe by tribe by tribe calls the land that I am currently on, they refer to it as Turtle Island. And I don't really know if anyone has ever heard that term before, or if they have heard that term before, or if you have heard the term before, I'm not sure if you know what exactly it is. And what Turtle Island is North American continent. And the reason why is because it's sort of shaped like a turtle. And this has been the reference for this land, this North American continent, across tribes from many, many regions. They all share a creation myth that is similar yet different, but still ends with Turtle Island being the North American continent. And so what I would like to do today is I would like to share with you the story of Turtle Island. Now, this story is not tribe specific. It references a lot of different tribes' versions of it. But this is sort of an umbrella, very quick lesson on what Turtle Island is. So let's learn about Turtle Island today.
What is Turtle Island? Turtle Island is what some indigenous peoples call North America. It is home to many indigenous nations with distinct cultures, beliefs, and traditions, but they also share lots in common. For example, there are varied creation stories across nations about how North America came to exist on the shell of a great turtle. Turtle Island was created after a great flood, which had been sent by the Creator to purge the old world. In Ojibwe mythology, it's the culture hero and trickster Nanabojo who recreates the world on the turtle's back. Sometimes it's Wisakichek, the teacher and trickster from the Cree oral tradition, seen here played by actor Graham Greene in the 1991 film Clear Cut. For the Haudenosaunee, it's Sky Woman, the mother goddess who fell to the earth from a hole in the sky, as depicted here by Iroquois artist Ernest Smith. In this painting by artist Carl Ray, we see Turtle Island, which is created with mud retrieved by the muskrat. But as the muskrat dives to retrieve the mud, as seen in Ray's Muskrat and Vine, its left foot is tied to a vine, and it dies from the effort. After centuries of settler colonialism, the contemporary use of the term Turtle Island is an act of resistance. It's a reclamation of indigenous stories and place names in a broader effort to revive indigenous cultures across Turtle Island.
All right, so I just thought that was a very short, but like I said, super tiny synopsis of what Turtle Island is. But I figured in lieu or in light of the holiday that we had at the beginning of this week, it might be nice to learn a little bit about the land that many of us right now are currently living on, and what the indigenous peoples had to say about its creation. And so I find it fascinating that the land shape that they have called the turtle really does kind of have the essences of a turtle, and they knew that without satellite imagery, so this was definitely, I can only assume this knowledge of the shape of the land was brought by, probably seafaring navigation, etc. But to have such an appropriate animal without satellite imagery, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of cool. And so yeah, I just wanted to thank you, Darlene, for understanding the context in which I was bringing this to us. And yes, Pinnell, some of the myths or the folklore or whatever, the creation stories for different tribes, some of them have the sky people as part of the Turtle Island creation myth. Other tribes don't refer to the sky people, and it's all done, a lot of the myths apparently are very different. In fact, one of the reasons why I chose that particular video to show you guys and introduce the concept of what Turtle Island might be is because it referenced all of the different stories. Because when I was doing research trying to find a little bit of a short video explaining, every single video I had a different creation story. Because it was all of them were coming from a different tribe, yet they all ended with the same thing, which is mud from the bottom of the ocean was placed on the turtle's back, and the turtle grew to be the land that we live on today. And so some of them have the sky people, some of them it's all about the animals, and some of them it's about the trickster, etc., etc. And so I liked that video because it kind of referenced all of the different versions. All of the versions still end up, even though the details are different, they still end up with a turtle bringing our land up from the water. And Pussycat, is Florida the tail? No. Florida is the bottom right foot. Mexico and Central America are the tail. And so, let's see here. Yeah, back right leg is Florida. So yeah, that is, yeah, Rick, exactly. It's interesting that the land shape of North America could be determined that many years ago. It is and it isn't, really. I mean, from our Western point of view, it absolutely is. But I just, when you've got a lot of people who've been living on this land for tens of thousands of years, it sort of stands to reason that they know their way around it, right? It's just, it is kind of an eye-opener, I guess. And Pecola T, let's see here. Yes, you are right, Pecola T. Washington State is the left armpit. That is absolutely true. That is 100% true. We were the left armpit. And so, let's see here. Yeah, Rick, just like the star constellations, it takes a lot of imagination to see some of those shapes. And e-music, shamans, kahuna, medicine men could see things in their dreams. And then there's that, exactly. There's ways of knowing things that our European colonized culture doesn't acknowledge, I guess, for lack of a better word. And let's see here, Belly Bear. Looks like the right foot turtle is Florida and Cuba. Yeah, for sure. Florida, and then, those little areas. Yep, you got it. That is exactly the turtle that we're looking at. You guys are getting the picture, so to speak. Pun intended. And and so let's see here. Pussycat, you don't want to be the tail. Well, Florida man has already got enough, so you don't need two reasons to be considered the Okole. And Pussycat, you thought Newark, New Jersey was the armpit of the nation? Well, let's see here. It looks like Newark actually really kind of is the right armpit, right? All right then. So, all right. So we've got maps in the life. We've got learning on the horizon, etc., etc. I've got one more little thing because it is Whale Talk Wednesday, and we're not going to get too deep into Whale Talk Wednesday, but I saw this super cool video that, the video is what the video is. It's not like super cool, but there's a moment in the video where, why don't we just show the video?
Oh my God. That scares the crap out of me.
All right, so like I said, the video was meh until the video got to be a little bit like, and luckily nothing really happened. Luckily the orca did just glide underneath the glassy water of Eld Inlet, but I liked that video for two reasons. Well, actually three reasons. First off, I really enjoyed the glassiness of the water. I love it when the Puget Sound gets like that. Two, it was kind of an intense encounter when it finally got to be the encounter. Right. And another reason why I like it, and you guys had to know this was coming, right? I mean, come on, you had to know. Gives me a reason to pull out a map. And so this is a map of where that took place. This is the larger scheme, the Puget Sound. You can see where Seattle is. You can see where Tacoma is. That little purple rectangle that I got, that, can you guess? I free drew that. The little purple square is this area right here. This is the detail, and the red dot is where that particular encounter took place. And if you see some glasses, the little, reading glasses underneath the red dot, that is where the Evergreen State College is, and the beach that at the Evergreen State College has, because we did have a beach. My college had beachfront property, and it was a nude beach actually, but the beach that we had was on Eld Inlet, where those orcas were. And to remind you, so this is like the furthest, this is down as far south in the Salish Sea as you can get, because this is where that red dot is Eld Inlet. So that's how far down. That is how far down into the Puget Sound we've got with these orcas that were coming through. And so, you guys, map statter strikes again. I snuck in 3 different maps in this particular chatter scatter. And Belly Bear, aren't there some kind of whales that can eat people? Sorry, you're city folk. No, actually, it's a perfectly valid valid question. And orcas absolutely could eat a person if they wanted to. I don't think they have been known to eat them, but orcas have killed human beings. Or these orcas are generally the ones that were in captivity and they've killed their trainers. But absolutely, killer whales have the capability to kill a human being. They generally don't in the wild. Now, there are other whales that are big enough, but they're baleen feeders. They don't have teeth the way the orcas have teeth. There are other whales that are baleen feeders that are big enough to actually swallow a human whole, and kayakers have had that happen. They generally don't get eaten because they get spit back out. So I don't think that there's any record of whales eating humans in modern times. But yes, the killer whale absolutely could. Now, that being said, the killer whale actually isn't a whale, remember, it's a dolphin. And its misnomer, killer whale, they used to be referred to as whale killers because orcas would and do kill whales to eat them. So especially like the calves of much larger whales, humpbacks and orcas don't really get along, and orcas have been known to eat humpback babies. So actually orcas are a dolphin that are whale killers, and they hypothesize them being referred to as whale killers is how the term killer whale got applied to them. And let's see here, Rick, your seal of approval advice, don't go into orca water in a dark wetsuit. That's funny. Pussycat, do any sharks come that far south? Absolutely. We have a ton of sharks in the Puget Sound. We've got some really rare sharks in the Puget Sound. However, most of the shark species that we have in the Puget Sound are very small. We don't really have to worry about shark and dogfish attacks on people because they are smaller species. But we have, I don't know how many species of shark in the Puget Sound, but we have a ton of sharks. Very different sharks than the ones that you have in your warmer waters, because the Puget Sound is extraordinarily cold. It's extraordinarily deep, quickly offshore, and it's extraordinarily cold. It ranges between 53 and 56 degrees year round. Doesn't matter how hot it is outside. It's cold, cold, cold in that water because the water can get up to 800 feet, less than 50 feet offshore. It is literally just, boom, these are the Puget Sound is basically a bunch of fault lines. And so, there's no gradual sandy beach. Actually, that's not true. There are some gradual sandy beach areas, but for the most part, once you get in the water, you're in deep water. And so, so like I said, the water remains extraordinarily cold all throughout the year. And let's see here. Rick, could you tell if the orcas were traveling north or south? You know, I couldn't tell, but I'm guessing they were coming inland from the way it's so hard to tell. There's so many different islands in the Puget Sound, and it's really hard to tell. I interpreted that orca as coming further south in the video as opposed to going back north out of the sound. Let's see here. Kenny from the Cove, we should all send Statter a map of our home state with the towns where we live marked on it. Well, that would really be cool, but the maps would end up all in a drawer somewhere, because my house is very tiny. However, if I lived in a bigger house, honestly, one of my dreams is to have a map room, which I know is just so silly. I mean, what? Am I planning on going to war? You know, no. But I would love to have a map room. I would love to have pull-down maps and I'd love to have a map room. So if y'all ever want to buy me a house that has a map room, well, then I would love to have all of your maps and I would show them all off. Rick, southbound, probably hunting. Same as northbound. Very good, my friend. Very, very good. Belly Bear, build a she shed. You know, I've already got a shed out back that I don't even go to. So I don't know if I want to build another place to store stuff that I never want to see again. And where I guess I could make any room into a map room, but I don't really have a whole lot of wall space. Panel, really, it used to be a thing to wallpaper with maps. Well, I think it should still be a thing. I think it should still be a thing. Yes, it should. And, Bacola Tea, wallpaper my bathroom with maps. I can't. There's basically no walls in my bathroom, which makes no sense, I know, but they're all cupboards. And they're the only cupboards I have in my entire house. So, but God, you know, I really want more maps. I mean, I already have like several maps actually up, but, you know, and where a map ceiling, well, now that's a horse of a different color, isn't it? I might have to do something like that. But before I do that, I need to do something that I should have done a while ago. Brother Bruce, good to see you. How you? Glad you're able to come on in. Today, we were talking about, let's see here. Today, we were talking about Turtle Island, and we were talking about orcas, and we were talking about, fall colors. That's what we were talking about. And let's see here. Belly Bear, isn't that a wall behind me? No, it is not a wall behind me. And Gina, I don't live in a tiny house in the traditional sense. I don't live in a tiny house like I think what you're talking about. The newfangled tiny houses. No, don't live in one of those. My house was built in 1952. It's a one-bedroom house. It's 500 square feet. It's just a tiny house before tiny houses were a thing. So let's see here. Let's see here. Oh, right. Belly Bear, you were asking about the wall behind me. No, it is not a wall behind me. In fact, behind me is my kitchen and then my sliding glass door. And what you're seeing now is the magic of the illusion of television, as it were, or whatever. There is a card table. Let's see. I don't know if you can hear me knocking on that card table. There's a card table behind me. And then propped on top of the card table is a huge canvas painting of a bunch of surfboards. You might remember I had that background for a while. And then they were upside down surfboards. Well, now it's just the canvas has been covered with various and assorted scarves and sarongs and things. So, yeah, I don't have a wall behind me. It is all an illusion, and it is all an illusion. And yeah, Gina, when you capitalized tiny and house, I figured that was exactly what you were referring to. And oh good, Anne, I'm glad you guys love this background. Yeah, I figure the different sarongs and scarves that I have can eventually create various and assorted backgrounds, but right now I'm doing purple to sort of go with the hair, although you can't tell because my hair is wet and hidden. But Belly Bear, yes, nice illusion. And now you guys know it's all just smoke and mirrors, so to speak. But one thing I want to do, and I saw that Andy had it, Andy Bumatai, he has a green screen that just, I guess it's on legs, and then you pull it up, and then you've just got you've got a green screen behind you, so then you can be anywhere. And so I'm thinking about investing in one of those one day. But for right now, I've got my studio in a box. Basically, it's not really a studio in a box per se, but, it's a studio. It's a little, it's a very portable studio. And, let's see here. Yeah, Darlene, that's true. Not so cool trying to get all those dang stars off the walls and ceilings. And yeah, exactly, Picola T. Streamer secrets revealed. You better believe it. You guys, I mean, no, seriously, there is a lot of, as thrown together as some of my stuff is, there is a method to the madness, and I have Andy Bumatai to thank for all of it. I cannot tell you how many hours, Andy, before I started the stream, I cannot tell you how many hours Andy spent on the phone with me, telling me little tips and secrets and things about things like lighting, and how to do, how to make it look like this, but don't do, and honestly, his advice was and is invaluable. Without him, there would not be a mad woman behind the curtain, like Gina says. Oh, yep, there you have it. And Darlene, yeah, getting all those stars and things off the walls is kind of a pain. And that reminds me, when I was in college, we moved into the new, housing situation. And it was a apartment on campus that had six bedrooms. So, there's 6 of us moving in, all together, whatever. And anyway, we lived there for a while. And then I think maybe there was like a power outage or something like that. And things got dark. Like there was no lights one day. And we noticed that a previous occupant, or many previous occupants probably, of that apartment had painted glow-in-the-dark stars and messages and random things all over the apartment. And so as soon as it got dark enough, like, boom, our apartment walls just like lit up with this secret that we've been living with for weeks and didn't even know. And it was kind of cool. Because it was done with paint, so there was no getting them off. But you also, like, unless you knew they were there, you didn't see them. I mean, like, once we knew they were there, it was like, oh yeah, you can see it painted, whatever. But, but until you saw them, you didn't see them. And it was just, yeah, it was kind of cool. I have to admit, it was kind of cool. So, yeah, so I probably won't put stars on my ceiling, but I still like the idea of putting a map or many on my ceiling. And, because I'm map statter, as it were. Oh, yeah. And let's see here. Okay, you guys, I think that's all I've got to talk about right now. So, we might have to shatter. We might have to, do crazy stuff and have it all scattered. And Belly Bear, I could be a fortune teller for Halloween with that background. Very gypsy-ish. Yeah, in fact, actually, it was sort of inspired by Andy Bumatai once again, because he did say, before I ever went on stream, he said, I envision you with some kind of fortune teller background. And so that is a little bit of the vibe that I have been going for. I haven't quite figured it out yet, like the exact perfectness, but we are getting here, because I'm liking the drape of that. That's nice. And so, yeah, Kalika, you can get the green blue screen pop-up backgrounds, and yeah, they have the spring coil. Yeah, and they fold up nicely. See, that's the key, is I need everything to be able to be put away neatly and, not take up a whole lot of space, as it were, because there's not a lot of space in my house. And yeah. And Kenny from the Cove. We will probably end up talking about food. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that's how that works. And thank you so much. Yeah, I was worried about the about how my skin would look against these colors, because my skin is see-through and the lighting just does weird things with it. So I just don't even. It's always a hit or miss when I'm up against a color. And I need a crystal ball. Pussycat, do you have a crystal ball? I don't have a crystal ball, but I do have a garden implement or a garden decoration that has like a glass ball in it. And so I could probably like get one, or, get a little crystal ball thing for a costume. then again, I could probably get a crystal ball or something that was like a crystal ball at the Spirit Halloween store, now that I think about it. And that reminds me, though, I was reading about this, I don't know, somebody posted on Twitter or whatever about how they did go and buy a crystal ball from a witchcraft store. And, they were really excited about it. And the clerk, when selling it to them, said very clearly, okay, when you are not using this crystal ball, you always need to cover it with a cloth. You have to cover it with a cloth. And so the person who bought it was like all in a mystical idea, and so they're just like, why is it going to prevent, why will spirits be attracted, and, will it act as a beacon for spirits and I'll attract unwanted energy? And the person was just like, no, because it's a crystal. And if sunlight hits it, you might catch your house on fire. Because the sunlight will be amplified, and so you need to cover it to make sure that no light gets on it so you don't catch your own house on fire. And I thought that was kind of a funny little piece of advice. It's like, no, it has nothing to do with mystical nothingness. It has everything to do with not burning your house down. And let's see here. I don't have a skull. But I do have a little, he's my guy. I love my little guy. He's my little gargoyle. He's just a little guy right here, and I do love him. As you can see, I pet him. And so, but I don't have a skull. And let's see here. Yes, exactly. It's like ants with a magnifying glass. And yes, it's a little baby gargoyle. That's right. Little baby gargoyle fits in the palm of your hand because he's just so cute. I've had him since forever. He's just so cute. I love him so much. And I'll tell you what, if I ever need to throw him through a window, I will. But I don't want to because he's so cute. There we go. Gus the gargoyle. I don't have a name for him really. But yeah, Gus, that'd work. Or Gary the gargoyle. Yeah, exactly, Belly Bear. No, you don't need a fire. Yeah, knock on wood or wood-based product. Exactly. And exactly, Darlene, I love all the little gargoyles because they all have their own personality. Even the ones that are all made from the same plaster cast, they still end up, that one's ear got a little bit worn off, and that one got a nick, and that one's kind of rough in the whateverness. They all look a little bit different. And is it a gargoyle or a gargirl? I always thought it was a boy. So I'm going to say it's a boy. He seemed like a boy to me. So I think he's a boy. But I don't know. But I think he's a boy. And clearly he likes to be pet because, as you can see, I can't stop petting him whenever I pick him up. And we're so silly here. We're so silly. And Pussycat, you have a couple tikis from Hawaii. Nice. I don't know. I guess you could call it a tiki. I do have a piece of tiki, wood carved tiki-like art from Hawaii, but it's over in my Hawaiian corner. It's over in my corner with my Uncle Gordon. It's a figurine of my Uncle Gordon, and granted, it's not really supposed to be Uncle Gordon, but he's just this local old Hawaiian kapuna man playing his ukulele, and he looks exactly like my Uncle Gordon, so I call him my Uncle Gordon. And let's see here, Terry, you could send me a skull, but you'll have to boil it down first. Yeah, that's cool. I don't really know what the customs forms are for that, and so there's really, no need to get paperwork involved. I really appreciate the offer, but why don't we just, And Kenny, you have a moose on the bookcases next to you. You call it Pample. Oh, I miss my Pample. I haven't had Pample moose in a long time. Lucky you. And, oh no, you have a tiki keychain from Hawaii that just broke. Can't fix it. Got decapitated. Oh no, and it looks creepy now. Oops. Let's see here. Belly Bear, your mom collected garden gnomes. So funny. One looked like your brother with his white beard. There you go. Isn't that funny how sometimes it's like they capture an essence, even though, that wasn't the intention, but brother, you're in that statue. They have captured your essence. Yes, they've captured it. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to have a quick Lono break, and then we're going to get back, and we're going to talk about tikis, or we're going to talk about food, or we're going to talk about something or other. The chatter will scatter. But now, let's just take a Lono listening break.
One more chance. "16, looking for dreams. Big city lights, still wearing jeans. Got a handful of nothing, you're on my mind. I can't stop this pain inside." She said, "Forget me not, and I'll prove to you, 'cause everybody's watching me now. Baby, give me one more chance, 'cause I'm going down. Give me one more chance, 'cause I'm going down." He had his family in his hands, and everyone thought he was a family man. But divorce came quick, it made her sick to have to put the children through all of this. But as the time went by, I saw that man ruled 14,000 acres of land. Give me one more chance, 'cause I'm going down. Give me one more chance, 'cause I'm going down. So everyone took different roads, and now we barely keep in touch. When I think about what happened to my grandma, it just hurts so much. Now the house is gone and the land is clear. When I visit that place, I cry inside. Give me one more chance, 'cause I'm going down. Give me one more chance, 'cause I'm going down. Had a cousin who passed away a few days after graduation day. We all sat around and couldn't believe being just kids feeling so much grief. But as the time went by, the pain would heal, and I can't say what I can't feel. Give me one more chance, 'cause I'm going down. Give me one more chance, 'cause I'm going down. Yeah, give me one more chance, 'cause I'm going down. Give me one more chance, 'cause I'm going down. Got a card in the mail today from dear old mom, and what she had to say. She's underlined the words that meant a lot, and her love for me I'd forgot. I swallowed my pride and it was hurting me. God bless my whole sweet family. Give me one more chance, 'cause I'm going down. Give me one more chance, 'cause I'm going down. Yeah, give me one more chance, 'cause I'm going down. Give me one more chance, 'cause I'm going down. Yeah, give me one more 'cause I'm going down there. Give me one more chance, 'cause I'm going down. Give me one more chance, 'cause I'm going down.
All right, there you go. Brother Bruce, be safe. Glad you were able to stop by. And yeah, that Lono tune is, I have to say, I didn't actually listen to it. I just watched it to know when it was done. Because every time I listen to that Lono song, I got a little tear in my eye. You know, it's a little bit of a toucher. And I wish that he would have it on one of his albums. But alas, it is only available on his YouTube channel. The song is called One More Chance. I apologize for not putting that in the credit while I showed that particular video. But the song is called One More Chance, and that song took about 12 years to write from start to finish. It was a long birthing project for that particular song, and I think that it was definitely worth it, but you can tell that there's a lot of life packed in there, and Lono had the opportunity to play that song for many of his cousins and sisters and brothers recently, and it was met with much joy and love. Everyone, they were like, yeah, that's how it was, and so I think that song might be his family's theme song, as it were. Not that it's a theme song, but their song of choice. And I'm just glad that he's able to share it with all of us here. And Brother Bruce, I'm so glad that coming here helps get you through the last part of the workday, because sometimes that last part of the day is the longest and it drags out so flippin' long. So anything to make the time go just a little bit quicker, glad we can do it for ya. And yeah, Belly Bear, exactly, 12 years. Yeah, first started writing that song when he was 16, and it took him 12 years after that. So it's an old song. I wish that, like I said, I wish that it had made it onto an album, but the only place that we get to experience it is on that YouTube channel, and I'm very thankful that he has chosen to share that song with us, because it obviously is a song of great personal, some serious personal situations in that particular song. And let's see here. Yeah, Puzzy Cat. So yeah, good times when you were a kid, and it's neat though that you're able to. I saw that you mentioned that you still can go drive by your grandparents' house, so that's kind of cool that that's still there. My family has scattered so much that first off, I never met my dad's parents, so I didn't know them, and then not living in the same country as my mom's parents, obviously not near them either. So just being in the proximity of your clan, as it were, for so long, that's kind of cool. Not very many people are still in the vicinity of their family like that. And exactly, and that song, I think we can all relate, for sure. And let's see here. So Belly Bear, yeah, never get tired of Lono. I swear, to keep talking about Lono. I swear, the moment you get tired of Lono, it's just like, well, that's cool. I'll just switch an album. Like, okay, I'm tired of listening to Hawaiian music. Well, okay, now I'll go listen to, fun time party music with, Maui stylin' and this, that, other thing. I mean, there's just like a song for every mood, as it were. I don't think Lono understands the word genre, and we all benefit from that. And Fuzzy Cat, your dad's mom passed before you were born. Yeah, I think... Yeah, my dad's dad passed before I was born. My dad's mom... I just never met her. And let's see here. Pacola T, you lived with your grandma on and off for many years. So many good memories. Nice. And let's see here. And Belly Bear, yeah, you've been retired since 2018, and yes, time does fly. Well, and you know, the last, we're just now getting out of a strange 2-year period of what was that, you know? And so time kind of ceased to have any meaning for a good while there. And I'm so glad, though. I mean, as awful as obviously the quarantine and the lockdown and the pandemic and the loss of life that we've all had or all known people who've been affected, etc., by COVID, there is, I feel, a sense of gratitude for the lockdown. If it weren't for the lockdown, Andy Bumatai would not have been able to create the community that he created, that we're now still carrying forth with our other endeavors here, Chatter with Statter, Photo Luke Hawaii, Terry in Scotland, Shock doing the movies. We all are still perpetuating this community that Andy started during that strange, timeless period. And so I feel, you know, as awful as it is and was, I feel as though there were some blessings that came from it as well. And let's see here. Pussycat, your grandfather's mother died the same day your mother was born. Okay. Wait. Okay, so your mom never knew her grandpa. All right, there we go. And yes, and the pandemic isn't over yet. That is true. But with all the vaccines, et cetera, life is beginning to get a little bit more normalized. I wouldn't say normal. You know, we're not currently stuck in that fear of the unknown back when, you know, in March 2020, when things were just bleak and horrifying. And so you are correct. The pandemic isn't over, but we're not really, you know, but it's evolved from the heart-stopping, blood-chilling, terrifying monster that, you know, is of unknown to something that's like, oh, that's horrible and awful, but at least they're knowing how to treat people a little bit better, you know, because before they thought, you know, that intubating was helpful. Then they found out, oh, that's not helpful. Gosh, you know, I mean, we're a little past the learning curve, I guess, is all I'm saying. But yeah, exactly. Darlene being succinct and to the point. We're in a bit of a better place than we were before. Exactly, Darlene. I'm glad you're picking up what I'm laying down. And right, Picola Tea, another great way to put it. We're learning how to live with it. Unfortunately, there are some people though who are still definitely getting very sick despite the boosters, etc. Which, by the way, if you are able to get a booster, you and your family would probably benefit from one. Obviously, I'm not telling you how to live your life, but you know, science is sometimes helpful. And and so it sounds like the latest versions of the boosters are out. I got a message on my phone the other day that told me that I was eligible to get the newfangled booster. And I haven't done it yet because I'm going to the day after the tax deadline. That's usually when I get my flu shot, and I'm hopefully going to get the booster shot. So I'll be all shot up next Tuesday, and hopefully then I'll continue to get shot up as long as there are shots to get shot up with. There you go. So let's see here. Pinnell, you got your 4th shot on Friday, got the new one. Yeah, this will be my 4th one as well, because I got the 3 older ones, and then the new one is what I need to get next week. And And Rick, pandemic has just become social anxiety, but you still don't like people. Fair enough, fair enough. And Cindy Krause, you are coming in just in time to say hello and goodbye, because we are going to be wrapping things up. And where it's okay, don't worry about it, man. We are here to chatter about all the things, and unfortunately, it's one of the things. You know, it's one of the things. So we chattered about it for just a little bit. It's all good. And Kalika, exactly, double tap on the vaccine. God, wouldn't that be awesome if it would just be that easy? Like, you know, boop, boop, boop. That would be super awesome. That would be super awesome. And Darlene, your doctor's saying to get the flu shot too. Heck yeah. Like I said, I'm planning on getting the flu shot and the vaccine shot at the same time. I might rethink that plan. I admit it could be a bad plan. But that's the plan right now. And Gina, you've had 3, not sure when to get the 4th. Yeah, I don't really know what the time frame is on when they say you should, but it sounds like, at least in my area, it sounds like the newfangled ones are available. So I'm assuming that that they're probably available in your area. And from what I've read, they basically are like, yeah, you know, you probably should get it as soon as you can. So, oh my God, no way, Anne. Your parents got the newest booster a few days ago. They just tested positive for COVID today. Well, now, do you think they are really COVID positive, or is it the vaccine that's causing a false positive? Or do they really have COVID? In which case, dude, where did your parents go? And oh my goodness, are you sick too? And yeah, exactly. No double shots. And Rick, 2 vaccines on the same day. The side effects will be the same as 1 shot. So they say, I don't know if I believe that. Which is why I'm kind of scared to get both on one day, but I'm willing to tough it out. And okay, Ann, you're good, and you think their cases won't be too bad, and no, it's a real positive. Oh, dude. Well, then no wonder you brought it up. Dudes. All right, listen. The pandemic is still there. We have proof now. We have proof. I mean, like, okay, there's science proof, which has always been out there, but now we have actual Statterbox proof. So, like I said, I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but, you know, maybe get your little shotty shot. That's right. Kulika, you had no side effects? Fantastic. And your wife got both of them? You know, yeah, Brother Bruce, I think the shingles shot, honestly, I am more afraid of the shingles shot than I am the new COVID shot. Everybody I know who's ever had the shingles shot is just like, oh my God, that was a shot, all right. Like, I don't know how you fared after this shingles shot, but I am definitely planning on getting it, but I am a little wary of it. Yeah. So there we have it. All right. It is 6:30. And now that we're talking about shooting each other up, it might be time to wrap things up. And let's see here, though. Before we do that, Belly Bear, you got the flu shot, pneumonia shot, and booster February this year. Went on vacation, came back from vacation with pneumonia and congestive heart failure. Holy flirking snit. Wow, dude, that was crazy. Hopefully your shots helped you not be as sick. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so you guys, even with the shots, you're still at risk, I guess. And let's see here. You got the shingles shot. It's 2-dose vaccine shot. You have to take a couple weeks apart. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Let's see here. Brother Bruce, exactly. Yeah, what helps motivate me with that shingles shot is exactly what motivated you, which is looking at the effects of shingles. Yeah, precisely. I've known friends who had who had the shingles, and it sounds flippin' miserable. So no, I will definitely get the shingle shot when I can. I'm not sure I don't know if I qualify for it yet. Don't you have to be 50 to get the shingle shot? And I'm not quite that yet. So, so all right. So, wow, you were hospitalized for 8 flippin' days. God dang it, dude. That was some craziness. So yeah, I'm so glad that you're healthier now and out and about. And let's see here. Brother Bruce age, and if you also had chickenpox. Well, I've definitely had the chickenpox. So yeah, I'll need to look into the age limit, because I think it's 50. But I'm also really good at making stuff up, but we know that. And yeah, exactly, Darlene. Shingles are awful. It sounds like it's really painful. And yeah, I'll take a pain for a few days rather than however long shingles lasts. And I say that because shingles sometimes last for a really long time. So yeah. So on that happy note, on the note of shingles, I guess it is time to wrap stuff up. And hopefully this weekend we will be able to watch Rocky Horror Picture Show. I still haven't gotten it from the library yet. The week has been kind of busy, but tomorrow, that is first thing on my agenda. And let's see here. But hold on, wait, Rick, no quote me, but after January 1st, the federal government is making shingles and other maintenance shots free. Medicare for sure, other insurance, hard to say. Well, that's cool. That's good to know. And, e-music, you had shingles last year for months and you had the shot too? Oh, all right. Well, maybe I don't want to get the shot then if I'm going to get shingles. And Option, it's so good to see you, Option. Oh, you are coming in just the last second. And I am so happy to see you because it has been a little while since we have crossed paths. Alas, though, it is time to shut the stream down, and hopefully I will see everybody on Saturday. Most likely we will be watching the Rocky Horror Picture Show. So, we'll see you on Saturday, 6 p.m. West Coast time. And boop is, I guess, what we're going to say. So, boop. Thanks so much. I'll talk to y'all later. We'll see each other soon.